Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy Jelson here, and today we're back with a brand new NBA video. And in today's video, we're gonna be talking about a very special player. It's something that I seem to say, very often, but that's because I really like to, talk about players that are very special, guys that have a lot of upside, and guys that you guys want to see videos on. And before we hop right into that, and which you see who the player is, I'll tell you in a minute if you haven't looked at the title for whatever reason, but I wanted to bring up the fact that I haven't posted in like a month or so, and I will give you a very good reason. I moved into college. Yeah, college exists, and that started for me. So I moved in, and I also had surgery on my hand. So, we've been kind of going through a roller coaster here, but, we're going to move on. We're going to move through it. We're going to get through it, and we're going to start making videos again. And in today's video, we're talking about Keegan Murray. A very talented player that I wanted to talk about because I did not give the credit to him the last time I've talked about him on other social media platforms, specifically Twitter. You can follow my Twitter. It's going to be in the description. I don't know if I recommend it at all, but you can. But let me tell you right now, Keegan Murray is a special talent, and when I was tweeting about him, I was wrong. I was a Keegan Murray, I wouldn't say hater, but a non-believer. And I was not very high on the Kings picking him very high, but watching some of his tape, looking at his highlights, highlights on everything, but definitely something to look at because you won't get to see their full bag if you're only watching, normal stuff. But I watched both, and also looking at just their stats from college. Keegan Murray is a pure hooper. This man has everything in his bag, and I had questions about if his offensive game could translate to the NBA level. Those questions are no longer in my repertoire, but I do still have questions about his defense, but he's shown flashes to be a good defender. So in that saying, I want to talk about Keegan Murray. I mean, why I believe in him now, why I switched my viewpoint on Keegan Murray, and why I think that if you are not a believer in Keegan Murray, that you might as well, watch the film, and if you don't have the time for it, then take my word on it, because the biggest problem in social media today, and I will be the biggest emitter of this because I've been through it, and that's looking and listening to opinions on stuff without doing your own personal research, especially in the NBA community. It's pretty bad, but what I will say is that I did my own research here, and I'm going to do that from now on. And Keegan Murray is a pure hooper that I believe in completely at this point. Looking at his college stats, and as I always say, stats aren't everything, but stats show me where it can lead. So Keegan Murray has shown in college that he's the room to improve as a freshman, going from 7.8 points to, as a sophomore, 23.5. Then looking at the shooting splits is even more impressive. Shooting 40% on almost 5 attempts a game is something not to scoff at, especially at the college level where, hoopers aren't as, pure. They aren't quite as, calm and collective as they are in the NBA. NBA players have had many, many years under their belts. College, not so much. Keegan Murray being able to establish himself as one of the best shooters in the nation as a sophomore is very, very important to me. A lot of people get thrown off by, hoopers that aren't, one and done, which is completely stupid to me. Obviously, one and done talents are very important for the league because, more players, a lot of times when they're one and done, they're the elite talents. But I'm going to show you with this hooper, Keegan Murray, he is not just a one and done talent. He's a 2-and-done talent that I think is going to help him. I think having that extra year in the league is going to help him in the long run because obviously you say, well, he missed a year on NBA talent training and stuff like that. Well, first of all, he's getting a bigger bag now that he waited because I don't know if he would have even been drafted as a freshman. But as a sophomore, getting a big bag, going to an organization that needs young talent, and even though it's the Kings organization and you say what you want about their staff and their training staff and all that, whatever you want to say, I will tell you this right now. Most of the time, no matter what NBA organization it is, their training staff is a lot better than college. And I will tell you because it's like the jump from high school to college. It's night and day. It's like that in the NBA, to an extent. Obviously, maybe not quite as big of a jump as that, but it's to an extent, it's like that. And I think Keegan Murray is going to develop into a better defender than what I think he is currently. I may be completely misconstrued on his defense. Let me know down in the comments. But I think he has the upside to become a good defender. I don't know if I would say elite, but definitely a good defender. I don't think he's that quite yet. I think his three-point shot is a very, 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 very valuable asset at the current stage that it's at. I think he will come in and become a very, very good NBA three-point shooter, as we saw in the Summer League. He's a very, very talented scorer of the ball from all three levels, and a guy that I think has a tremendous upside to bring literally everything to the table to any team that he's on. And obviously right now he's on the Kings, and something I wanted to talk about is his fit with De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis. You know, there was question marks around the Kings organization, you know, halfway through last season when Domantas Sabonis came there because they traded Tyrese Halliburton. And I'll tell you, I was right in there with the skeptics, man. I was questioning it a lot. But I will say right now that I might have been wrong. I mean, Tyrese Halliburton is a hooper. Like, that man is a baller. And I think that he's going to be very good. I think he'll be better than De'Aaron Fox is. But I think that now looking at it, I think looking at the Keegan Murray fit, I like De'Aaron Fox a lot. De'Aaron Fox is still a dynamic playmaker, no matter what you want to say. Maybe he's not as good of a playmaker as, let's say, Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton, in my opinion, is more of a shooting guard, but he has the playmaking ability of a point guard. But I think De'Aaron Fox is a guy that can play make for a guy like Keegan Murray, a guy that just, you know, you get him open at any point, and I think Keegan Murray can get himself open, but you know what I mean. As a rookie, you need guys around you to become open and, you know, get your own shot and all that, gain confidence. It's just how the NBA goes. But De'Aaron Fox will be able to get the ball to a guy like Keegan Murray, to a guy like Domantas Sabonis, and I think that will work very well. Keegan Murray is going to provide the shooting that the Kings team absolutely needed, no matter what you want to say. Obviously, you get Malik Monk in there, and that's not a terrible move at all. But I think Keegan Murray has the ability to come in and be a better shooter than Malik Monk, which is something, you know, of note, right? Malik Monk, one of the better shooters in the league, has struggled his first couple of years, but, you know, as years have went on, became a better shooter. But Keegan Murray, I think, has the ability to be a better scorer than, you know, than obviously Malik Monk, because Malik Monk doesn't have much outside of a three-point game. But I will tell you that De'Aaron Fox, I'm envisioning it right now, and just like my head is in love with the idea of the De'Aaron Fox, Keegan Murray two-man game. Then you throw in Domantas Sabonis, getting him rolling to the basket. You know, his little jumper here and there just looks immaculate. Domantas Sabonis is, you know, playmaking on top of that is immaculate. I mean, I don't think you could come up with a better three-man duo, or three-man trio rather, that is, you know, of this caliber. I mean, because obviously I wouldn't say they're not the caliber of the Timberwolves, not at the caliber of the Cavs quite yet, not the caliber of Nets. But what I will say is that right now they're all three very young pieces, guys that had a lot of upside coming into their, you know, respective drafts. I think obviously De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis been in the league for quite a while at this point. Domantas Sabonis, a bona fide all-star. I mean, I love this idea. I love the three-man trio here. I love the game that they're going to play. Definitely should make at least a push for a play-in spot. It's a very talented league we're currently in. Very, very tight for anyone really to get in the playoffs. We're talking, you know, top teams are going to struggle to, you know, make the playoffs or get a high seed rather. It's a very interesting NBA right now. A lot of parity in the NBA, and I really do enjoy it. And even with the Kings organization, having the upside of these three young guys is very important. So that's what I got to say. If you're a Kings fan, if you're an NBA fan, if you're a fan of, I don't know, the Australian Basketball League, because they just destroyed the Suns, let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this video, because I'd love to hear you guys' opinions. Anyway, remember to like, subscribe. It's been your boy Jelson. See you guys in the next video. Peace out.